You know the deadline is real. You know exactly what needs to happen. And yet, somehow, you are doing anything else. This is not laziness. This is not a character flaw. This is an ancient survival circuit, firing exactly as it was built to fire, in a world that no longer rewards it the way it once did. To understand why you procrastinate, you have to stop thinking about productivity and start thinking about threat. For most of human history, the brain did not evolve to optimize long-term outcomes. It evolved to keep you alive in the next 5 minutes. A brain obsessed with the distant future was a brain that got eaten by something hiding in the present. The humans who survived were not the ones planning eloquently for next season. They were the ones who reacted instantly to immediate danger and immediate opportunity every single time without hesitation. This created what psychologists now call present bias, a deep, evolved preference for immediate rewards and immediate threats over distant, abstract ones. Economist and behavioral researcher George Ainsley has spent decades studying this exact mechanism. His research demonstrates that the human brain does not value future rewards on a smooth, rational curve. It discounts them steeply and irregularly, what is technically called hyperbolic discounting. A reward available right now feels disproportionately more valuable than the exact same reward available in a week, which itself feels disproportionately more valuable than one available in a year. This is not irrational behavior. It is ancestral math. In an environment where survival was measured in moments, not months, a brain wired to chase the immediate and discount the distant was making exactly the correct calculation almost every single time. Now look at the deadline sitting in front of you. The report due Friday. The email you have been avoiding. The project with no due date for another 6 weeks. Your ancient brain looks at that obligation and asks the only question it knows how to ask. Is this dangerous to me right now? And the honest answer, almost always, is no. There is no immediate threat. No predator in the grass. No social catastrophe happening in this exact second. So your ancient brain, doing precisely what it evolved to do, redirects your attention towards something that does feel urgent in this moment. A text message, a snack, a video, anything with an immediate, tangible payoff. This is where psychologist Piers Steele's research becomes essential. Steele, who has spent his career studying the science of procrastination, found that the single strongest predictor of whether someone will procrastinate on a task is not laziness, intelligence, or willpower. It is the combination of how unpleasant the task feels right now and how distant its consequences are. He developed what is sometimes called temporal motivation theory, the idea that motivation rises sharply only as a deadline approaches, because that is the exact moment a distant, abstract threat finally becomes immediate enough for your ancient brain to register it as real. This explains the now familiar experience of doing your best work the night before something is due. It is not because pressure makes you more capable. It is because pressure is the only thing that finally makes the threat feel close enough, present enough, real enough for your survival circuitry to take it seriously. For 200,000 years, immediacy was the only signal your brain trusted. A deadline 6 weeks away simply does not register as a threat to a system built exclusively to respond to right now. There is a second, equally ancient layer to this. Many of the tasks you procrastinate on are not just abstract, they are also tasks with uncertain or unclear outcomes. Writing something that might be judged, starting a project that might fail, having a difficult conversation that might go badly. Neuroscientist and psychologist Tali Sharot has studied how the brain responds to uncertainty, and her research shows that ambiguous, unpredictable situations activate many of the same threat circuits as direct physical danger. To your ancestral brain, an unclear outcome is not neutral. It carries the faint signature of risk, the same risk once attached to an unfamiliar sound in the dark or an unrecognized animal at the edge of the firelight. Avoiding the task in this light is not weakness. It is your ancient threat avoidance system doing exactly what it was built to do, steering you away from situations with unknown, potentially dangerous outcomes. Put these two mechanisms together, present bias and uncertainty avoidance, and procrastination stops looking like a flaw in your character. It starts looking like the predictable output of two ancient, well-functioning survival systems being applied to a problem they were never designed to solve. Your brain is not malfunctioning when you avoid that email. It is running exactly the program that kept your ancestors alive. Ignore distant, uncertain threats and respond only to what is immediate and undeniable. The mismatch, once again, is the modern world itself. Hunter-gatherers rarely faced abstract, long-horizon obligations with ambiguous outcomes weeks or months in the future. Their threats were immediate, their opportunities were immediate, and their brains were calibrated entirely around that immediacy. You, by contrast, live in a world built almost entirely out of distant deadlines, delayed consequences, and long-term projects with no instinctive urgency attached to them at all. Your ancient brain was simply never given the tools to feel urgency about a quarterly report. Here is what shifts once you understand this. The goal is not to fight your brain into submission through guilt or willpower alone, both of which are themselves products of a system that was never designed for this kind of long-horizon thinking. The goal is to make the distant feel immediate. Behavioral researchers consistently find that breaking large, abstract tasks into small, concrete, immediately actionable steps works because it speaks the only language your ancient brain understands. What can I do right now, in this exact moment? A 6-week project is invisible to your survival circuitry. Opening the document and writing one sentence is not. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are running ancestral software that once kept entire tribes alive by refusing to waste energy on threats that were not immediate and were not certain. That software has not been updated in 200,000 years, and the deadlines of modern life were never part of its original design. Knowing this will not make the procrastination disappear instantly. The circuit does not dissolve simply because you understand its origin, but something does shift the next time you catch yourself reaching for a distraction instead of the task in front of you. You are not failing. You are running an ancient program in an environment it was never built for. One immediate moment at a time. You knew the deadline was real. Now you know why your brain didn't.